my name is Amanda Lakaitis. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen. Tonight I'm going to make a delicious vegetable soup with one of my favorite leafy greens called Swiss chard. So what I'm going to do first is I have 2 celery stalks that have been diced up. I have 3 carrots that have been peeled and diced. And then what I did was I cut out the stems of the Swiss chard leaf, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. I have about a cup of onion here, so I'm going to put that in first, and I'm going to saute this with my vegetable broth that I'll be using for the soup. So I'll put just a splash in here. I have 4 cups of vegetable broth, and I chose this one because it has no oil in it, and there's no salt in there. So you don't need much to start out with the saute, just a little splash. Keep the heat about medium. I put the onions in there. I'm going to throw a bay leaf in. I want to put that in first because this is going to give that soup really great flavor. Next, I'm going to add in my carrots, my celery. I'm putting these in first because they're going to take longer to cook. I removed the stems from the leaf of the Swiss chard and I diced them up. The reason I did that is because the stems actually take a little bit longer than the leaf itself to cook. So I like to do those first. So I've got all of those in there. And what I'm going to do is I just sauteed the onion a little bit. For time purpose of this video, I could have sauteed the onion a little bit longer, but I just shortened it. I'm going to add my seasonings. All of my seasonings here are salt-free, so what I'm going to do is kind of just freely add them in there. If you would want to measure them, I would do about a tablespoon of the garlic powder, and I would do probably half a tablespoon of the rest of my green seasonings I like to call. Thyme, oregano, and marjoram. So because they're salt-free, I'm not too worried, and I can always add, you can add in later on if you don't put enough in. That's one rule when you're cooking, is that you can always add in, you can never take away. So you always want to be mindful of that and be careful of how much you're putting in. My thyme, my marjoram, that's my green seasoning for my leafy green soup. And my oregano. Add these in there a little bit. Stir it up. So this is cooking. As I said, I've got the heat about medium. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more. But what we're going to do with the soup is we're going to take, this is going to be, once these get soft, then I'm going to add the Swiss chard. So what you didn't see earlier, while I was prepping for the Swiss chard, I had the Swiss chard leaves sitting in this bowl full of water. Swiss chard tends to hold a lot of sand, and it's never fun if you bite into sand while you're eating your soup. Nobody enjoys that. So I fill it up with water, and then I'm able just to lift it out, shake it up, and then drain the water, and then put some new water in there. So that way then it's nice and clean. The leaf got a little drink right before it gets cooked, so it's really crisp, and then I chopped it up. So this was just one bunch. Generally Swiss chard is sold in bunches, so what I'm going to do is add that at the very end because it doesn't take long to cook greens, and this looks like a lot, but it's really going to shrink down quite a bit. So these are cooking right now. They're still going to take, I would say this is going to take about probably 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll get soft as it sautés. And then what I'm going to do is add the Swiss chard in there, and then I have, this is about 1 quart or 4 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to add that right on top, and then I'm going to cover it and let it simmer. Taste the soup, see what I think. I can add any more seasonings I want, and then if it's up to you, your preference as far as your salt goes. But that's a quick and easy Swiss chard soup. Hope you enjoy it. I know I sure will. It looks like it's going to be delicious.